read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Howard Rapherty claims his barbecue grill was smashed by a toolbox that flew into his yard from the defendant's truck while passing by. Jackson Rivera says none of his trucks were in the area when the incident occurred.
Howard Rapherty, as
Yes,
my
ma'am.
plaintiff. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I see you have a witness with you, Casey Wilson. Okay. And for my defendant, I see it's Jackson Rivera.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Rafferty, you are suing Mr. Rivera for $1,200. What brings you to court today, sir?
In 2024, December, my wife gifted me with the barbecue grill of my dreams. And since then, I've been entering competitions. I've been winning. On June 7th, I was putting my mowing equipment away in the shed next to my house, where I heard a vehicle zip past us, and I heard a loud crash. I go to my backyard, and I see that the top of my grill has been smashed and damaged.
Oh, no.
I noticed that there was a toolbox that looked like it was like a construction-based grade, like nothing that a homeowner would have.
Okay, so
And-
commercial level.
Yes, and tools spread all over the backyard.
Oh, wow.
I ran back to the front of the yard, hoping that the driver that this happened would have stopped and wanted their tools back, and no one was there. They had
Nothing.
Nobody was there.
Okay, so your grill, is it usable?
No,
No, so it's just, it's a total loss.
no. But I do have
Your
images here.
photos? Okay, give your folder, please, to Elijah.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse the barbecue stain.
Okay. So are you, you said you compete as a, what do they call that, barbecue master, pit master?
When you win, you are.
When you win, you are,
When
okay.
you're loser, you get to go home.
Oh, man, I do see this is quite the indention. Doesn't feel like a big enough word here on this grill. It is absolutely smashed, the top of this thing, making it non-usable. Okay, so did you replace the grill?
No, I've been able to because
You need the value of the $1,200, and you're
Yes.
saying that you suspect Mr. Rivera is the owner of the toolbox.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at the toolbox. We will hear from Mr. Rivera in a minute. I'm seeing this blue toolbox with the tools scattered all over your home. It definitely does not look like the typical round-the-house toolbox. I can see where this looks like a professional level. I see you've provided the court with what it would cost to replace the grill, the retail price. This is extensive. You know, it's a 3-burner, propane gas, but stainless steel equipment, and it's right at $1,200 for you to buy a new one. Now, I think I'm beginning to see why you might think it might be Mr. Rivera here in this evidence, because the last piece of evidence looks like this screen grab from a ring cam that has Rivera Hauling Company captured here in the device. So it looks like that's giving us some indication that at some point at least, right in front of your home, Rivera Hauling Company was present. Let me come to Mr. Rivera for a minute. I'm going to get to Mr. Witness in a minute, but let me come to you, Mr. Rivera. Do you have any affiliation with Rivera Hauling Company?
Yes, it's my company, Your Honor.
That is your company?
Yes, but the truck that's pictured is not a truck that we use. It's a truck that was probably subleased.
Okay, so a part of your business model is you sublease to other companies and drivers?
Correct. In a lot of instances, they're supposed to pull off the label that associates it with our company. A lot of times, their attempts to do that are sort of haphazard,
Okay.
and they do not successfully do that. But the point is that it's not our truck. It is common in the trucking industry to sublease, but in this particular instance, it's not our truck.
So you are denying that this is your truck at this particular time?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. On your typical Rivera hauling trucks that are yours and under your authority right now, do they carry toolboxes?
Yes, we do have a very stringent process for monitoring the tools. We have a log that we have everyone check at the time that they're leaving to make sure everything is in place and fastened in, because these are exactly the type of incidents that we're trying to prevent against. And we also have GPS logs that monitor where our vehicles are going. And at the time of this particular incident, we didn't have any vehicles at the particular intersection that the plaintiff is claiming the tools flew out of. We do have trucks that are in the proximity of where he is, but none that have crossed that particular intersection, at least on the day that he's claiming.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Yes, sir.
When we spoke on the phone, he was very abrupt with me, and I'd asked if he could ask his employees if anybody lost a toolbox. He didn't even attempt to try to figure out it wasn't him, but it could have been an employee.
And later,
You say that he negligently filled the tank? Is that what you told the court?
That's right.
Tell
He
me more.
insisted on fueling the boat, I think probably to impress some of the girls on our boat.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Howard Rapherty, who brought Jackson Rivera to court for property damage.
So what I would love is if you could show me an accounting for exactly where all of your trucks were at that particular time. Do you have such an accounting?
I have.
Elijah, can you just give your whole evidence
Sure,
folder,
sure.
sir, to my bailiff?
Yep, no problem.
Let's see what you do have. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
Okay, so this is your GPS log. And so this is saying that these were the trucks that were out dispatched, I guess, right? And you're saying that nothing on here was in the area that the plaintiff is referring to.
Not necessarily the area, Your Honor, but the intersection where he's claiming that it occurred at.
Okay, you have something to say, sir?
Yes, I'm pretty sure these logs are accurate to his understanding, but I live there, and we see these trucks go by all the time.
And I'm sure this is where Mr. Wilson comes into play. You could approach the table, sir. Are you next door or neighbor?
Next door neighbor.
Your next door
yes.
neighbor. Okay, so this was captured on a ring cam of your home?
This was my Ring camera, yes.
This is your ring camera.
Yes.
So you believe it was Mr. Rivera's as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Now, I do want you two to both hear that he's arguing that, yeah, that's a Rivera truck, but he's saying he sublet it out and that it no longer has anything to do with his company. That none of these, because you're admitting that they were in the vicinity.
They're in the vicinity, but there's a particular intersection, and it's escaping my mind right now, that he's claiming that it flew out of, and it didn't happen. I think that also some evidence that I
Yes,
also
what is
supplied.
this, sir?
Sure.
This piece of evidence. Is this
So-
a hammer?
Right. So those are the tools that bear the insignia of our company. And the tools that the plaintiff has provided that he claims have hit his grill do not bear that insignia.
Okay, let's go back to the tools in the blue toolbox. I do see a hammer on the ground in the grass there that looks of similar shape to this, but you're right in that I can't tell. It's not so much that you're right. I really just can't tell if it is carrying the logo. It's not on that side, but maybe it's possible that it was on the back side. The truth is that I don't know. This looks pretty inconclusive. Yes, sir.
And just because he says that he has logos on all his tools doesn't mean that all of his employees use his tools. They can
Yeah.
use their own tools.
Maybe they lost one of them, had to replace it on the fly. It's a
secretly.
lot of possibilities. Right, it's a lot of possibilities. This is a tough one, but you, Mr. Wilson, do believe that it is Mr. Rivera who is responsible for the toolbox, it flying off of the back of the truck and ultimately hitting your neighbor's beautiful grill and ruining it.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you for your testimony, and thank you for the ring cam footage. Yes, sir.
When we spoke on the phone, he was very abrupt with me, and I'd asked if he could ask his employees if anybody lost a toolbox. He didn't even attempt to try to figure out it wasn't him, but it could have been an employee.
Well, that's true. What did you do? Let's get to what you did do to do your due diligence, because you do have a duty of diligence, sir,
Sure.
to make sure that this was or was not something that you are vicariously liable for.
Sure. I did check the logs after the phone call, and I did not see any irregularities there.
But maybe somebody went, I don't know, off of their route. And I understand there's GPS, but just things, it just never hurts to ask. Did you ask?
I did. I sent out a mass email to my employees. I
Okay.
did said, did anyone deviate from their normal course of action? Is there anything inconsistent with the GPS logs? And the answer I received was a resounding no. So, and I also...
You don't have those emails with you today in court, huh?
I apologize, Your Honor, I did not bring them.
And that's a real shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame. All right, final words from you, Mr. Rafferty. I'm gonna make a ruling. Go ahead.
With the fact that the timestamp on the ring cam shows that the truck was there with his logo on it, that he is responsible. That's his label, that's his brand. If he's leasing out trucks that his company isn't using anymore, why wouldn't he have that stripped from the sides of everything, the tools, before he leases these things out to other people? Because if not, how is he not liable for it?
And that's what we call, ladies and gentlemen of the court, a winning argument. So I'm ready to make a ruling. Mr. Rafferty is exactly right, Mr. Rivera. If you are, as a businessman, going to lease out, sublet out, whatever, your company's trucks that were formerly of your company, you need to make it your business, quite literally, to take that branding off the side of that truck. Because otherwise, it puts me and everybody else in the community under the reasonable belief that it is your truck and that you are responsible for it. And so since you failed to exercise some level of professional diligence in removing your literal name from this vehicle, I have no choice but to operate under a presumption of vicarious liability and ownership on your behalf. This court rules in favor of the plaintiff for the full demand of $1,200. That's my ruling.
All rise. Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,200.
My understanding of the legal world is it's based on proof, not guessing, but it is what it is.
I'm sorry we had to go to this level, and once we get the new grill, please come by.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
This is very interesting here. Okay, so Mr. Seymour, you say that basically you were ready to get the show on the road, get the party going.
Yeah.
This is Equal Justice. Mark Hendrix claims his boat was inoperable and had to be towed after the defendant filled it with diesel fuel instead of regular gas. Vincent Seymour says he was just trying to help the busy plaintiff get the boat out onto the water faster.
See, I've got Mark Hendrix here as my plaintiff, Vincent Seymour as my defendant. Mr. Hendrix, I see you are suing Mr. Seymour for $1,000. You allege property damage. Tell me what brings you to court.
That's right. This man negligently refueled my boat on a 4th of July fireworks outing, which led to severe damages to the boat, and I needed to be towed back into the dock, and all this cost me $1,000.
Okay, who is this man to you, sir? Is this your friend?
He's a friend of a friend.
Okay, a friend of a friend, and this is your boat. How long have you had your boat, sir?
Since my 25th birthday.
Had the defendant been on your boat prior to this incident?
Yeah, he was on my boat for Memorial Day, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, you say that he negligently filled the tank? Is that what you told the court?
That's right.
Tell me more.
Insisted on fueling the boat, I think probably to impress some of the girls on our boat. And I told him that I'd be happy to do it myself. I normally do it myself, and I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to refueling the boat. But I was busy with a few other things, but he was quite insistent on doing it himself, even though he really had no idea what he was doing.
Because anybody knows, even in a car, if you put the wrong fuel, it's going to be a situation.
My boat's a 22-foot Sea Ray, and for that kind of boat, it's pretty standard to run on gasoline.
Now, he's used the word insistent several times in this.
I wouldn't go so far as saying insistent.
Okay.
Well, first of all, we were supposed to leave the dock about 4.
Okay.
And by this point, we had been there for 2 hours. It was getting to closer to 5 o'clock, 5:15. And I was just ready to get the show on the road.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
So you volunteered to do this task to help the situation move forward. Is that correct?
It seemed like he was concerned about everything except the most important thing.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Mark Hendrix, who blames Vincent Seymour for damages to his boat.
This is very interesting here. Okay, so Mr. Seymour, you say that basically you were ready to get the show on the road, get the party going.
Yeah, I mean, like we were gonna be late for the fireworks.
Okay, so you're policing this man's social agenda on his
I'm like,
boat.
all right, let's pop up another beer, let's have a fun time.
Okay, so was part
Come
of
on.
you saying, let me do the refuel piece to speed this thing along?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you were, it sounds like, maybe a little insistent on you getting things going.
In the sense that I wanted to help, yes.
All right, let me come back to you, Mr. Hendrix. So he's basically complaining that you're being too slow about getting this show on the road. He volunteers to refuel your gas tank, and it did need to be refueled, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so did you think twice about letting this relative, pardon the phrase, novice, be tasked with such an important issue?
Yes, Your Honor. I told him that I would fuel it up once I made sure that the boat was ready to go. There's a number of safety concerns, and it wasn't just the two of us. There were 6 other guests on the boat.
So you were trying to make sure that all of your ducks were in a row, so to speak, and that all the safety concerns were appreciated. That was taking too long for you, it sounds like. So you volunteered to do this task to help the situation move forward. Is that correct?
It seemed like he was concerned about everything except the most important thing, which was refueling the boat
And
with
who
gasoline.
decided? No. Who decided that was the most important thing, sir? Sounds like that was a you decision. Did you know what you were doing?
With the current information I was given in that situation, no, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Now, under normal circumstances, if this was, say, a car, I would be very willing to entertain your arguments to the court, sir, because I would think, well, there's a little more reasonable understanding of what type of fuel most vehicles on the road require. And if you got that wrong, I would find that it would be appropriate to hold you responsible for getting such a basic thing wrong. But we're not talking about a car. And so, therefore, I'm not really interested in what he insisted upon or volunteered to do or offered to do, because ultimately the buck really has to stop with you. So, unfortunately for you, the court does rule in favor of the defendant, and the plaintiff's claim of $1,000 is dismissed. Next time, do it yourself, sir. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I'm really disappointed by this ruling, and certainly this guy is never coming back on my boat.
I guess the crypto bro lost today, huh?
Okay. You've had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me.
Thank you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.